Pat, so you're on this kind of like boomer thing. The market's frothy, AI is bad. It's going to take over everybody. We're all going to die. So I think we should debate today that whether or not AI needs to be slowed down before Mecha Hitler pulls the plug or before OpenAI starts loading itself on unauthorized servers to protect its longevity. What do you think?
I think we should dive in and let's roll. I like winning, and
I
let's.
think I'm hoping that you get the slow down, frankly, because I'm an all systems go guy. To the moon, to the moon. And by the way,
I'm an A cell,
everyone,
not a D cell. Stop.
everyone that knows me, to the moon and back, because I get all the way to the moon and then I ride it all the way back down. That's the guy on this call. So, all right, let's see who's going to debate which side. Almost like it's fixed. It's almost like it's
God.
fixed. Is it fixed? It's not fixed. We actually try to keep this entertaining by surprising ourselves and having to pick the side. So Pat says decel, slow down, turn it off, get the kill switch, no nuclear codes, go.
There is no better example of the challenges of AI in the future and the risk that it provides to all of society than Mecha Hitler. I mean, that just says it all. So it's one thing when you've got social media site and your AI goes berserk and you take off the guardrails, but what if this same thing happens when generative AI is running uh, a hospital, a hospital operating system, or it's running uh, weapon systems for Anduril or a company like this, or maybe it's an analytical company that the military uses that just goes and makes stuff up and decides that it wants to blow up a certain country or do something like that. How about at a dam system? Like, let's just open up the dams, right, and let this thing go haywire. And what it also highlights is just how easy it is to change the AI once it's been set. Let's just say you have guardrails, which, by the way, X has guardrails because they put up the guardrails about 24 hours after Grok went nuts. But what it clearly shows that even if you have guardrails, even if you have a rule book, uh, mistakes will be made. And it's one thing that, yeah, I know the debates of, oh, we had the debates on electricity, AC versus DC, the danger of not having a person in the elevator when it goes up and down. But what we're talking about here is the downside is a mass extinction event. And I don't know about you, it's going to be very hard for me to get and recover from this. We saw what ugly AI and dangerous AI looks like, and we can't let this ever happen again.
Okay, boomer, let's slow it down, turn it off. Let's let China have the win. They can diffuse their technology all over the world. We can pull back. We can basically get back. I have another idea. Why don't we bring back the printing press? We should also, by the way, move back to pre-assembly lines. We can build every single car by hands. And by the way, this will be great for the Trump policy. We could have so many more jobs if we did this. Let's move away from high tech and automation. Let's not use data. Let's make sure everybody's stuff is protected. And by the way, let's make everyone also read all the privacy info before they're allowed to use any application. We could use an AI tool to make them use that to make sure that they actually know what the heck they're signing up for and how their data is being used. Or we can be realistic. We can be very quick moving and on the fly. We can be willing to recognize the fact that some of these things will go wrong. Like, for instance, autonomous cars will crash. They will crash. Everybody say they won't or they shouldn't, or it's so much worse. But what's going to be better about autonomous cars is they're going to crash less than we will, meaningfully less. And even if there are mistakes made, we will be able to correct them. We will be able to be more productive by about $30 trillion by moving faster on AI. And yes, it's going to bring some question marks about what does everybody do when all of a sudden AI does all the things we do. But we all know that every time this happens with each revolution, whether it's been mobile, whether it's been social, whether it's been, mainframe and mini, whether it's been, any sort of trend line, and now with AI, the more productivity, the more efficiency starts first, but the productivity and the new jobs and the opportunities come, and they will come. And if not, we've got the printing presses. We're going to print the money. We're going to give everybody UBI, and all of us can become really great golfers. Even if the idea of slowing down to stop an existential event was an actual possibility, which it isn't an actual possibility, the problem is we won't do it because it's a flat out terrible idea. We need to win the race. We need to go fast. We need to explain to people the risks, and everybody needs to understand that mistakes will be made. But Pat, you're never going to be able to bench 225 if you don't put the weights on the bar. So we're going to put the weights on the bar. We're going to keep pushing. Every so often, we're going to have the bar on our throat, and we're going to have to get out of that situation. And hopefully we have smart, articulate people to bring that description to the masses. Move fast, move on. Here we go.
I mean, Daniel, first of all, I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. And the other thing is that we are
I'm really liking this.
Well, we're both accelerators here. So I do think, I'm going to put reality mode. I am really glad that this did happen, because it did just show kind of how tight security regulations and your guardrails have to be to do this. And also the reality is that when you have regulated industries, they're regulated for a reason, which quite frankly is why we're going to see generative AI last pervasively in our energy system, our hospital systems, our military, and water and power installations. So it is where we do have a tremendous amount of regulations, and also, in transportation, right? You just can't throw something out there. I don't know if you guys all know this, but there's not a single airplane out there today that has a GPU in it. GPUs are not allowed by the FAA. Just that little fun fact for all of you. CPUs are, FPGAs and ASICs are, but GPUs are not. That is how there's not a single GPU in an airplane right now.
Well, the external power source for small planes is a GPU. It's a different kind of GPU. The ones on modern planes are called APUs, and those are actually built in, and they don't require any sort of external power source. So ask me how I know that, and I won't answer it. Anyway, so Pat, that was fun. I appreciated it. I'll put one. Should I just chalk one up into the W column?
I mean, yeah, for me, of course,